there. Worst case scenario, he's not doing well and we're screwed. Hello and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where we always have something to say about the Blue Jays. I'm your host, Nicholas Blaylock.
And I'm your host, Adam Peddle. And today we're going to be breaking down who are the players that need to break out for the Toronto Blue Jays.
They have to.
In 2021. Before we get into it, guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, smash that notification bell button so you can get updated on all the Blue Jays news coming into the season. And as well, this video is brought to you by Monkey Knife Fight, where you can sign up using our promo code TODAYJAYS, and you can get up to 100% of your first deposit back, up to $50. So $50 gets you 100 total.
Wow.
What?
I'm pointing to the thing.
We even, I won a couple bets on Monkey Knife Fight. I got one today. It's $5. And I could win up to $75 back.
Yeah,
if like
so
far,
right. I've only been on it for a couple days, but I'm 1 for 1. So yeah, 100%.
Actually, technically, me too.
You're 1 for 1 as well.
Yeah, because Lowry's out one night, so I got that money back.
Oh, okay.
So I'm 1 for 1
you're
right
1
now.
for 1 as well. So there you go, guys. These are proven gambling
Yeah,
studs.
it's fun.
So yeah, hop on it.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's talk about the guys on the team that have got to break out in 2021. Not only just so the overall team can have a better year, but like just on the, I was looking at some of these guys and the trajectory of their career. I think it is very important that they take the next step coming into this season. So first guy, I'm sure that you guys would imagine he's on the list. It's Vladdy for me and for you, I think.
No, absolutely. Vladdy, we've been waiting for the big breakout that everyone has been expecting for the last 2 years. The problem with Vladdy is just he's just been above average, and like some people get upset, and I hear these comments all the time, and I hate them. Is when people say we got to trade or drop Vladdy, like he's not doing well. Well, he's doing above average. That's his floor. He's been doing his floor, which is an above average player. Well, but we need him to break out and become what he's expected.
His career slash is 269 batting average, so good. 336 on base, decent, and a 442 slugging. Now, that to me is the number that stands out, because it's like I watched the home run derby. I know that he can do better than a 442 slugging. Right. You know, if
he has
that
the potential.
Was exactly, you know, and it's that classic line or argument that your parents used to say to you, you know, it's like when you're not like fully hitting your potential, it's like, hey, like if you were trying your best and you could just get a C, then I'd still be proud of you, you know? But like with Vlad, I know that his best, his absolute best at his peak is elite levels of slugging.
Yeah, definitely 500 plus slugging.
Definitely, you know? And I remember him coming into the league, people were talking about this guy like he's going to be the next Miguel Cabrera. There were a lot of comparisons in their player type. That guy's career slash, he's got a 540 career slugging. So a long way to go for Vlad. But the ceiling, like that's the ceiling. That's the potential.
And what's great, he's turning 22 coming into March. So he's still a young kid. And, you know, the potential of Vlad breaking out to be like a Miguel Cabrera type in the middle of our lineup would be unreal.
That'd be huge for our team.
Right now he's supposed to be batting what, 5th, 6th in the lineup right now?
Well, okay, like if I was gonna make the lineup, we don't know for sure right now because you know there's a bunch of but yes,
around 5 or 6, right? That is incredible. That is going to be a boost to the Toronto Blue Jays that we need. Like right now we're already dealing with a pitching deficit in terms of our starting rotation. So we do need the offense to be extraordinary this year.
Yeah, no, they need to be filled with studs.
So getting someone like Vladdy Guerrero to hit that potential is going to be incredible.
Well, just think about that. You know, it's like if you can have like all the best lineups. They have all-stars at their 5th spot, sometimes at their 6th spot too. You know, it's like I remember the Houston Astros from like in 2019 when Yuli Gurriel and Carlos Correa are just chilling down there, right? Like I want to look at Vladdy the same way that I look at some of those guys and be like, this dude can get the job done. When people are in or runners are in scoring position, I can trust him to get a hit, to bat them in.
I want to look at Vladdy like I look at Soto and Tatis. And that's what he's looking at himself going into this offseason. He wants to be like those guys.
He should.
And he's definitely dropped a lot of weight. He's hitting the gym. He's getting his reps in. And I'm really hoping that loss of weight can just get more consistent reps.
Well, because we've said it on here before, and they've said it on MLB Network before too. It is so overtly clear what his issue is, and it's because he tops the ball a crap load.
Yeah.
And when you top the ball, it's just simple, like, I guess, what is this? Physics. You top the ball, it's going to go down, So he tops it 7.6% more than the average MLB player, and he hits far more ground balls because of it.
Yeah, because you get that top spin, it's going downward. It's like a curveball, basically.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like you're hitting it from, like, if this is the ball and this is your bat and you hit it like that, like, here we go. It's like,
yeah.
It's just it's so clear what he needs to work on, and when you see, because last year, especially, and in fact his whole career, he has been hitting the ball exceptionally hard.
Yeah.
He's been hitting the ball exceptionally hard.
He was top 7% last year. He actually made a big jump last year, being top 7% in the league in exit velo and hard hit.
Yeah,
rate.
and that was
incredible.
with an additional 40, 50 pounds.
Yes,
it's like
exactly.
if we can drop that, think about the bat speed that we can have now.
Yeah, the bat speed, the stamina, and just the pure athleticism to be able to repeat a swing consistently every single day, because you're going through your whole day warming up, getting ready, and by game time, you don't want to be already worked.
Yeah.
You want to be in prime condition. So his conditioning is going to be amazing. I'm really excited looking to see if he can do it, man.
I saw a post on Talking Baseball. It's an Instagram, John Boy affiliate
Media.
or John Boy partner, basically. Great account, by the way. But they posted a thing where it was a video showing the 6 home runs of last season that were under 16 degrees in launch angle.
Right.
And Vladdy was on that list. He had a home run. So that just goes to show, like, he is smacking it hard.
Yeah.
And, it's like, it can leave the ballpark. And he was in there with, like, Juan Carlos Stanton and stuff.
Right,
it's like a bunch of these power guys. He's just got to get more consistent.
Yeah,
so
you can
the
line drive
likelihood
him.
for you this season of him breaking out, like, A, what is a breakout?
Yeah.
And B, do you think he'll do it?
I think a breakout, like what we talking about, is that slugging to be over 500. You know what I mean? If you can
Yes.
get a slugging over 500, or at least expected slugging, and that launch angle to go up, what's the likelihood of it happening? Definitely his best likelihood since entering the league. So let's get a percentage. Get the percentage game. I think it's like I think it's a good 75% that he hits over 500 slugging this year.
I really think that it's doable for him, and I agree. I think that the slugging is massive, because that's the type of player that he is. We obviously want to see the batting average, but typically, they do go hand in hand. Very rarely do you see somebody hit for 200 and a 500 plus slugging, unless you're Eugenio Suarez.
That's true, yeah.
And I don't know how you
smash.
do that.
He just smashes.
Yeah,
That's all he
if
knows.
he's gonna hit it, it's gonna be a home run.
Yeah.
Period.
Apparently, there's a bet for him, like for him leading the league in home runs. It's like a really good odds. So I was reading an article today. So you can bet home run leaders, and he's way down. And it's like, what? Oh, he does smash homers. So.
Yeah, I mean, I might take you up on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, for me, definitely the 500 slugging. And this is also really big for him in his career too, because this will be his 3rd year.
Yes.
And I know, like, we're all like, oh, he's so young, like, give him time. And I'm on board with that. But after this, he'll probably be upwards of 1,000 at bats.
Yeah.
He'll be like around 1,100 at bats. And now it's like, I think his ceiling is starting to lower a bit if we don't get above 500.
Right, the expectations aren't
exactly
as high.
like, we are not going to be referring to him as a potential generational talent anymore. If we don't see something good from this year.
He's got the talent. He just got to show it with the numbers. So we need Vladdy to break out this season. Another guy on this list that we need to break out, especially that we didn't acquire a quality starting pitcher this offseason, that is Nate Pearson. Nate Pearson at 24 years old. We all know he's a #1 prospect in our system. What's he for MLB? He's definitely top 10, right? Like 6, 7.
I think he's I don't think he's quite that high, but I think he's like lower 10s, like something like 9 or 10 or something around those. But anyways,
either way, it's
like
incredible.
Very, very good. Like, typically, you look at those prospects, and anyone in the top 30 in their top 100 typically turns out to be at least a serviceable player in the MLB.
He's got to prove it though this year.
He does, because we haven't seen anything yet. Really,
yeah,
you know,
like
18 innings last year.
Exactly. What last year you can't even you know. The only thing you could really take out of it was that his expected numbers were better than what his actual numbers were. Like his expected ERA was better. It was like 4.5
or something.
4.5, right?
Compared to his 6 ERA that he did have.
And like, and I think the big story, the big takeaways you can get as well out of that season was he was walking a lot of guys. He wasn't very consistent with his accuracy, and I think that's something. I think it has to do with nerves. You know, making your major league debut with again the hype. It's the Vladdy effect when Vladdy first came up when he wasn't hitting home runs every at bat, just like Nate Pearson wasn't a dominant ace. So I think we're still going to get this guy. Obviously, he's going to be playing all season, and he's going to get that chance to prove that he can be a dominant, dominant player.
We just need it, though.
We literally do need a breakout from this guy.
Like I don't want to, put the pressure on him or anything.
Right.
Another reason why I thought getting another pitcher would have been ideal
to take off that pressure.
Exactly. But at this point, if we want to be a actual contending ball club, then we do need to have a breakout, and I think that he is probably the best chance on the pitching staff.
Yes.
The problem with him, and you nailed it, was he was missing his spots.
Yeah.
And this is a guy who can pitch regularly over 100 miles per hour. So a very commanding and fast fastball.
Yeah.
But when you're not hitting your spots with his fastball, and he wasn't, he was inconsistent, you're gonna get those walks, and you're gonna get blown up because people are gonna wait on it, and then eventually you're not commanding the fastball. You got to switch to your other stuff, and you become very one-dimensional.
I really like his slider though. His slider is really nice.
Yeah.
And like I was watching some video of him pitching in his first debut against Max Scherzer. And whenever he needed to throw a fastball on a spot, he was overthrowing it a lot and really trying to crank it up, to 110. So like we've said before, but those who are new, like we really do think that Pearson just got to trust his fastball. Don't overthrow it because he's trying to be like a flamethrower, but you are one. So just hit your spot with consistency. Mix in your slider, mix in your changeup.
Exactly. Like I'd much rather have 95 where you want it than 105 somewhere else.
Exactly.
It's just give me the placement.
Exactly. And I think he said too in a recent interview for spring training that he understands that he's trying to work on getting ahead in counts. And like as easy as that sounds, obviously it's the game, but some people just forget. So he was focusing on being incredible. He was focusing on being the best. Let's focus on the game and get ahead of batters.
Yeah. So for you then, Nate Pearson, breakout, what does it mean? And, likelihood of it happening?
I think a breakout, because like his potential is high, putting him in the same tier as Vladdy. I think a breakout would be in the like a 3.5 ERA.
I was gonna say around the same. It's like if you can give me 3.5, and also, and here's the other thing, like we might have him on an innings limit too.
Exactly,
which is also like shit. Like I know why we're doing it. I get it.
Stretching him out.
But at the same time, that is frustrating. But let's say what's reasonable, like 150
innings
for the whole
no
season?
More than 200. I think he can go. I think he can. Like I would like to see him go more. Obviously, more is better. Like I'd like to say like 175, but like I don't know. If
I feel like that's a little bit too high.
It's not in Montoya's game plan.
I don't think that meets the game script.
It's frustrating,
but I do think that if I was to see 150 innings, with a 3.5 ERA, I would consider that a breakout. And then coming into next year, I'd be like, we have a certified stud.
Yes,
we have definitely a locked down. Because,
I would love that.
And I think out of all these guys that we're talking about today, he is the most important for me.
Yes, he is.
He is the most important
because if you look at the term, like we need that 1 and 5 solid guys to go out on the mound every day, right? It's just that weighs so much more in a ball club, especially with our lineup being already so deep with Vladdy. Him breaking out isn't essential for our wins, but it's a nice boost that will just scare people. It will haunt pitchers.
Exactly. And just think about this. Like if he doesn't do it, Ryu doesn't have forever. I know that he's dominant now, but he doesn't have forever. And we're talking about, we're going to be a great team 2023, 2024, so 2-3 years from now. I would imagine that Ryu will not be pitching at the same level, although I can't be sure. We do need Nate Pearson to take over and
exactly
become the number one.
Exactly. Worst case. Sorry to cut you off, but worst case scenario, Ryu is not good anymore. Good being like maybe he's like a 4 ERA or something.
Sure.
And Pearson is going to be our ace, or if worst case scenario he isn't, then we're screwed. But best case scenario, if he's still pitching well, Ryu, and Nate also breaks out, no problem.
That'd be perfect.
No problem.
But you did say it there. Worst case scenario, he's not doing well, and we're screwed.
And Ryu sucks, and Nate's not doing well,
like. Pitching is so difficult to find in this league. People do not like to give up good pitching.
No.
So you kind of need to grow it, or at least grow a portion of it. We need Nate Pearson to be the guy at one point or another. Hopefully this year.
I would hope this year. If it doesn't happen, that's growing. Pitchers take a little bit to grow, but I do hope he becomes that dominant guy. A guy that has been around for a while that hasn't really lived up to the expectation of the bat. You know what he's going to be, and that's Danny Jansen, but he's also got competition as well coming behind him in Alejandro Kirk, and those are the next guys that we need to see some breakouts from this season.
I wrote down one of the catchers. Give me one of the catchers, because right now I don't know who is going to be it, and Jansen has been far from elite with the bat in his time with us. Like his career slash line is 208 with a 297 on base percentage and a 370 slugging. That is nothing to write home about.
No,
that's not ideal.
The one good thing that he made in his advancement in his game this year is a plate approach. He was really good at taking the walks. Like he for 2020 had a 183 average and then 313 on base percentage, and he was 88th percentile in walk percentage.
Right.
So he was very good. So that is one thing that Jansen added to his game.
You know how I feel? I feel like it's honestly just like, man, like I can't hit it. I'm just gonna take
exactly. That's the game, right?
I mean, like play to your strengths, bro.
Right.
Play to your strengths.
He's Biggio, but not as good as Biggio.
Yeah, no. He's definitely got a ways.
He's got a ways to go
to become Biggio.
Yeah. But yeah, Jansen's been underwhelming to say the least. Now with Alejandro Kirk, it's a little bit of an excitement now that there's a bit of competition there. Competition can generate.
Overwhelming.
He's been overwhelming.
Literally only 24 at bats. Like, guys, this is nothing. 24 at bats is actually like what, 6 major league games?
6 or
7. You know, like maybe. This is straight up nothing, but in those 6 or 7 major league games, he was filthy.
Yeah, he was dominant.
Crazy, dude.
What's great is like he was great. You know, you can take a bit of that evidence, go, I'm really excited for this guy. But you can also take the reports from like literally, the GM Mark Shapiro, from all the scouts, from all the trainers that like they have never seen a better hitter than Alejandro Kirk,
like at the catching position,
or just in general. They said that he's one of the best. Like not talked like Vladdy when he was coming up, but he's very, very great hitter. Like this guy rakes. Like everyone, even on Talking Yanks, they talk about Alejandro Kirk being like, should the Toronto Blue Jays trade him? And they're like, no, never. He just rakes. They even know. So he's really highly touted. So I hope that it sparks a bit of fire where we can have who's going to take over that catching role.
Yeah.
Whoever can rake, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Because, well, yeah, I want one of them to do it, because I don't want to have an easy out for a pitcher. Like we've been talking about like should there not be a universal DH, and one of the arguments that we say that there should be a universal DH is because when you have that pitcher come in, it's basically like it kills the inning. Like this is an easy out for the pitcher who is throwing. Right. I don't want Danny Jansen to be 183 is a pretty easy out in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you want to have a guy at least serviceability. Like I think if one of these guys can hit for like even, I don't know, what is a breakout, like 240
for Danny? Breakout. I want Kirk to challenge the idea of catchers being like, 240 is okay for a catcher. It's not great. But like I want Kirk to get like 260, 265, even 270, you know what I mean? I really want them to challenge idea.
Okay, you know what? I'll go with that then. If Alejandro Kirk, or in fact, one of these guys, I'll just say one of them. If one of them can hit over 265, then I would consider that to be a breakout for
Yeah.
sure, and I'd be exceptionally happy with that.
Absolutely. And I think they're gonna split a lot of time to start off the year.
Probably.
Especially now that DH slot is getting really full with a lot of different guys. And I know Montoya is trying to get the like flexibility, the versatility of some players' positions. But either way, these two gotta compete for that catching spot. It's going to be exciting. Yeah, I want one of them. I want one of the breakout because now there's no more holes.
Exactly, you know, and that is the thing. Like, if we could actually straight up rely on one of these players, like as an offensive producer,
oh, amazing.
That's incredible.
That's just a gift.
You know, because now they're like batting in the 8th or 9th spot or wherever the hell they are.
Yeah.
And it's actually like, oh yes.
Yeah.
Danny Jansen's up to the plate. It's not like, oh damn it, Danny Jansen.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and we projected in our lineup on Instagram what it would be. Would it go in the last 3 spots, Simeon, and then it would go like Telez or Grichuk, and then Kirk or Jansen.
Whomever, yeah.
And then you flip it right back up to the top boys like Springer, Bo, Cavan, you know, whoever else is going to be up there. It's going to be great players. That's all I know.
Yes, good people.
But that's an incredible bottom half. That's full.
Oh, exactly. You know, and it's like for a guy like George Springer, who we know is going to be an elite hitter, and if he does bat in that leadoff spot, I want somebody on base for him.
Yeah.
I want somebody on base for him because I know that he is very capable of batting him in.
Yeah.
That's a run right there.
Absolutely.
You know, so
if we need them to break out, because if they break out, our lineup is going to be complete, and that will be such such a pleasure to watch.
Complete
really.
as hell. And honestly, bro, like ideal situation, they both break out, and then we can trade one of them.
Excellent.
You know? Then one of them can go screw off, and we can get a pitcher for him.
Who would you want?
Whatever, I don't know.
Whoever's
it's impossible at this point. Right?
Yeah, it's impossible to say, but I love the idea of like Kirk being our catcher. I don't know. He's just such a fun.
Although I have heard Danny Jansen's a dope guy too.
I've heard he's like the leader of the clubhouse.
Yeah, like he's like a really good like team presence. So I mean, like I really don't give
whoever
a fuck.
Wants,
who wants it?
Who wants
it bad enough?
Who wants it, guys?
You got it.
Who wants it? Guys, let us know in the comments down below who of this list do you want to see break out the most. If you had to pick one and be like, I need this guy to break out, who would it be? Let us know.
Yeah, and you can check us out on Spotify, Breaker, Anchor, Radio Public, and Google Podcasts. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like, ring the notification button. Instagram, always popping off on there. Twitter, TikTok, Relevant. It's insane. There's so many platforms.
Man.
And also, please become a Patreon member for $3 a month. And today's Jays really helps us out if you guys would go into Monkey Knife Fight. Do it on your laptop, by the way. It does not work on your phone.
Yeah.
So you want to use your laptop, but it helps us out immensely.
Yeah, seriously. Really support the channel that way. Patreon, Monkey Knife Fight. As well, you can even rep our merch, too. We got merch.
Jesus
we got
Christ.
T-shirts. I know someone, I got a notification this morning saying someone favorited your hat or like the ball cap.
Oh.
Cool. Buy it.
Great.
Send us a picture of you wearing our merch.
Yeah,
that would be dope. We'll put it up on the show. Awesome. Yeah. And thank you guys so much for watching.
Go Jays, go.